is my attempt at a not very well done video for you. I'm showing the shop just a little bit, showing the G0GSF antenna build that I did. The readings that you see on the analyzer done at the end of this video were done before the trim and before the choke coil was put in place. Readings changed dramatically after that. I did not hook up my radio to this antenna before I finished the trim and put in the choke coil. But it is interesting that this little antenna has done such a good job talking across the country pretty much. I can talk from here to Tacoma, Washington, into British Columbia, Ontario, Canada, up into the Northeast as far as Texas on the southeastern side. I've had several communications in Florida, and it's really interesting because in the high frequencies, the 80 meter and 40 meter bands, there's no way on earth I can talk to somebody within the state of North Carolina. It just doesn't work. They're just too close for the frequency to pick up. Anyhow, if you watched the video, how about giving me a thumbs up on it just to let me know that somebody actually viewed it? If you have any comments about the video, please feel free to put them in there. Try not to bash me too hard and hurt my feelings. I probably won't care, but no, that's not true. I do care about the comments. Anyhow, give it a look and see what you think. Hello everybody, this is Michael out at the Bushy Fork Rocket Shop. Figured I'd start this disaster of a film out here just to let you know that it has been an interesting winter. Got about 15 projects going on at one time here. So this will be a fast tour of junk in the way. Air conditioning equipment. We have the little Vulcan 215 welder, the Millermatic 252, and both of those get a good workout. Old bandsaw that does a heck of a job for cutting some of the metals. Sheet metal roller back there and rocket parts and other things hanging in the balcony. Embarrassing as this clutter is, I do know where everything in it is, and I also know what's out there. Now, I've had people laugh at me over that Harbor Freight Vulcan welder, but that little grill right there, every bit of the welding and trim on it was done using that little Vulcan welder. So they can keep on laughing, I'll keep on building and be happy with it. The big air compressor. That thing was a godsend when I got it. Plasma arc unit. Oh yeah, the explosives cabinet. Oh, let's see what other kind of trouble we can get into. See what my best position is here. Dual band Yagi antenna. That thing actually did work quite well. I was surprised at how good it did. At this point, I am in line with what I call my ugly wire. Not sure how well this is going to focus for me here. There we are. That is a bend point on the ugly wire. It drops down to a weight 24 feet below it, right there on the ground. You'll have to forgive my camera skills. I am not very good at this. There it went. Okay, we have determined that is one bend point. Right there is the T-section between the two pieces. And it continues on that way and loops over a branch in the pecan tree, somewhere up there, right there. I love doing videos and then find out that your battery's going dead on you. This is the T-section, connects to the two horizontals, and it brings a ladder line down to the house. And the ladder line is simply tied to the rail on the porch at the moment. There are a lot of things that have got to be changed about this. I just wanted to see if it would actually work. See if I can get this shot here going. We have a stacked dipole, and that is operating my digital at the moment, the 880. And there's the 1480 standing on top of that mast. Base of the 1480 is about 30 to 32 feet off the ground, and that allows me to hit the Greensboro Tower. It does a very good job on communication. Okay, let's walk up here and see what trouble we can get into. When I put this together, the idea was that I'd use whatever I had in my shop, be creative, and try to recreate something that actually worked. The G0GSF antenna design is the one that I've got here. The plate to connect from the homemade ladder line into my coax, that is an RG8U coax. Right there we have it hit with the 6-wind 5-inch diameter choke coil, and it runs over into the house. When I found the G0GSF antenna design, I was looking for something very specific. I wanted a wire antenna that would be relatively easy to put up, hoping to find something I could build with what I had here already in my shop. And this particular antenna was built by the same guy that had redone a few. He's a very well-known engineer in Europe. His call sign is G0GSF. He put this one together, tested it, trimmed it, tested it, trimmed it, and I had seen 3 other videos about this particular design, and it works. 42 feet overall length, and the two 24-foot verticals that drop off of it, center fed, made it a rather interesting but easy to install unit. The frequency I have the radio tuned to right now, I was on this morning, one of the OMIS nets, and I was talking to Ontario, Canada on that wire antenna. I have spoken to Tacoma, Washington, northwestern New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, caught a station in Portland, Maine yesterday morning. So the antenna is working out beautifully. I still laugh at propagation because I can talk to Ontario, Canada, I can talk to Portland, Oregon, but I cannot talk to Winston-Salem, North Carolina. It has to be relayed through a station out of Indiana. It's fun to watch, fun to play with, and funny to think about. So this is my little radio station. It ain't much, but it is mine. That is one seriously good radio. My friend John and I traded for that. The digital you see above it is the Icon ID 880. It's also another fantastic radio. So, you know, thank you, John. Thank you to everybody else in GARA. Don't know how I did it, but I got hooked up with a fantastic group of people, learning a lot, teaching a lot, great conversations going on. I am not real good at talking into a camera, so please put up with me. I do try to have a lot of fun with the radio, but the reason I got into amateur radio is communications. Emergency communication is very important to me. I have seen a tremendous number of storms and bad things happen in my life. It's not fun, and when you can't get a hold of someone that means a lot to you, then you get worried. When you get worried, things start going from bad to worse, and the whole situation is just not a good thing to do. So I got into ham radio because of that. I am an amateur radio operator. This to me is not a hobby. It's not something just to play with. This is an actual thing that needs to be done, and we need more people involved in it. If you don't believe me, you don't have to take my word for it. Talk to Texas about what happened to them 2 weeks ago. Talk to the people that went through Katrina. Talk to the people that went through Hurricane Sandy. We had operators all over the country helping out on stuff like that. It is a very important thing to be able to do. It should not be taken lightly. And yes, we are amateur radio operators, not just hobbyists. K4BFR clear. I don't know how well you can see what's on screen here. I hope this is actually coming through. I have my frequency set at 7 megahertz is the starting point. 7.3 megahertz is the ending point. 715 is the center. Right now, you can see in the bottom, I call it the bottom of the scale here, this is 7.0. I am looking at 1.37 SWR. The center line here, 1.57 SWR, and to the far right, the 7.3 megahertz, I'm looking at 1.63 SWR. This is the Smith chart showing here. I will be absolutely honest with you, I have no idea what that indicates. I have not studied into it that far. Return loss at 7 megahertz is showing a negative 16, showing about a 13 at the 7.15, and the 7.3 is showing roughly a 12.5 on return loss. Now then, I will stop this and we will go to the next frequency. Okay, I've got the frequency plugged in, the general side of the 20 meter band. Voice option is, oh, let's see here. It wants to get mad at me. We will disconnect it. Reconnect, see what happens. Somewhere along the line I must have touched something because it wants to come undone. I am real good at that, just bumping into connections and having them not want to talk to me anymore. Okay, interesting sweep. Right here we are at no, we got to start this over. .150 megahertz. And 14.350. See what we come up with this time. Try not to touch anything and get myself in trouble. Now this is incredibly interesting. I do not understand. This is where good coax and real window line, all of that is going to come into play. Right now everything I'm doing is experimental. 14.15, I'm showing a 1.33 SWR. On 14.25 I'm showing a 1.41. 14.35 megahertz, 1.46. That is incredibly interesting, and before it's over with, I'm going to blame all of this on the high loss coax cable that I'm using. And until I can get some real coax and a real quality window line on it, this is just numbers that I'm coming up with. Okay, next frequency. Let's try the 17 meter, 18.1. See what we come up with. And down here, we will back this one up. Okay, 18.110 to 18.168. Try not to bump anything to see what I get on the sweep. I am going to say right offhand, there is absolutely no way that this is reading 100% accurate, because that's a flat line across the entire frequency. That just doesn't happen. In the real imagery, I'm showing flat line. In the return loss, I'm showing less than 1 decibel on return loss all the way across the band. That is rather amazing to me. Let us try something different here. Dropping down to 10 meters. 28,300. We'll go with 29,700. Sweep that, see what happens. Okay, that's about freaky enough to look like it's real. In the very beginning over here, I've got 1.127 SWR. This high spike right there I see a mess up. Let's try this and sweep it one more time. Anybody out there that can tell me what's going on. This is my sweep. At the beginning of the band is 1.17, center of the band 1.56, at the top of the band 1.56. That I don't understand. Let me do something a little different. Go with a continuous here. You can see my readings. Okay, we're going to do this for 6 meters. 6 meters is 50.1. And over on this setting, get my brain working, 54. Sweep. Okay, continuous sweep. Absolutely flatlined. I do not understand that, and personally I do not believe that. Once again, I'm going to say that a good coax cable will change that, and we'll find out what's really going on. Okay, stop the sweep. Stop. Stop. Don't know why you did that. Let's get back in here and make this little change. I'm always doing something weird, touching the wrong spot. Once again, we are almost flat across. And here we're showing data outside frequency span. Part of that is because of the way I've got the settings done in the VNA, but I'm showing a 2.1. Be interesting to hook this to the radio just to see if I pick up anything. I believe I'm going to give that a try.